Hey everybody, we're back for hour 3. Roleplay Blades, special flashback episode. Ezekiel the Third, you just rocked a critical, and we would love to hear what happens as a result.
Okay. So I see Ramira running away with a satchel, and I decide to cover her escape. And the only way I can think to do that is take out the guy on the ground and then the 2 guys that are going to be chasing her. So first thing I do is I just run and just real simply kick the guy on the ground. He kind of like falls down. He gets up. He sees my foot. That's all he sees. It just whoop, and he's like completely out. And then the 2 guys that were on the roof drop down behind me. So I get done kicking. I use the momentum from my kick to like turn me around, and like without even thinking, like my brain starts to put the pieces, like puzzle out how, like kind of like the Sherlock Holmes, Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, totally.
But he kind of like looks at the situation and kind of just instinctually knows what to do. So what he does is the 2 guys are standing facing him now. He grabs the first guy, the guy on the left, grabs his left arm, pulls him this way, punches the other guy in the face, turns the other guy around that he has his arm, turns him around like a dance move, grabs him like this. So the guy's like this, and he grabs his ankle and picks him up and just like cracks him over his knee and drops him. And then since like the guy has got punched in the face, is like, fuck. Can't see Aldo's like meaty paw coming for his throat. So he grabs his throat and doesn't necessarily like pick him all the way up, but definitely like shows him. And yeah, and he looks at him and he goes, "Now look at me. Look at me. Look at me. See all that? Let that be a lesson to you. Now get out of here." And he fucking hucks him.
Yeah.
Nice.
Learn him, Aldo. Learn him good.
He coughs and splutters, and they pick up unconscious Kelter out of the snow and drag him away. The blue coat whistles get closer. Ramira's basically free and clear across the bridge and home.
I like how you just bail without telling me. I'm just going to stay here and keep shooting motherfuckers till the cops show up. I know my purpose.
Yeah, I think maybe Aldo also with that crit, like you're able to get out of there before anybody shows up asking awkward questions.
Yeah, what the bad guys or the thugs or the Brogan brothers don't see is that after they go away,
guys. Bad guys who aren't us for sure.
Yeah, exactly. What they don't see, but the camera sees is after they're gone, like all those like eyes are just like huge, like
like he just went hulked out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he's never really done that before. He's been picked on for being fat and all this kind of stuff, and he's never really fought back. He never had a reason to until like one of his friends was in trouble, and he realized like there's a strength there that he didn't realize he had. And this is just like a turning point in his life. Like, all right, I think I know what I'm here for.
Yeah, we see like the bloody knuckles, and the little carving knife like falls out of your back into the snow. It's like,
oh yeah, that was there.
You don't even feel it. No, we don't. There's no reaction from Aldo. We just see it. The camera sees it like go chunk into the snow.
Yep. And then I after I take a second, I start making my way trying to follow Ramiro.
Yeah, you head for the North Bridge, and I think we cut back to Cantor like coming down off the rooftops, and there's like people that have come out of their houses, and they're all like whispering and pointing, and you hear blue coat boots like banging up to cut you off. And this blue coat voice rings out and is like, "Hold fast there, you! Drop him! Drop him! I said."
Fuck that shit! I'm gonna run. I'm out. And I want to, before I run, I like look at the nearest house where there's the like, the huddled urchin, with his mother, and they're like, oh no, violence. And I just point at her. I point at her and I'm like, don't be a fucking snitch. And I run. I fucking run for it. Out. See you later, coppers.
Why did it take so long to do a crossover? This is fucking Don't be a fucking snitch. And like, I had water with a rock in it for dinner.
But my boy. Shut up, old lady. Yeah, no, I'm gonna run for it. I'm out.
All right. Well,
Sweet.
let's see.
I mean, I ain't about to do a bid. I'm gonna get out of here.
We make a cut. We can see if you
I'm not going back to that place.
rejoin the team making their delivery back home, or if we cut to you and Juvie.
Yeah, I'm not about that. I'm not about that Boys Town shit again. No, thank you.
Let's
walk off.
The blue coats, Cantor.
All right. Okay. Well, let's flee. I wonder if I can like do anything to slow them down. I'd love to shoot this lady, but that just seems like they'll chase me faster.
They would certainly be more motivated.
Right, because they're not paramedics or whatever, right? Like they don't care about the people bleeding to death in the street. They just want to trench my head in.
The guys you shot her up on a rooftop, all the blue coats know were there gunshots, and then some weirdo with guns came down and was like running off, and they were like,
all right. So we're in like ostensibly. I mean, I think of it as my neighborhood, but like,
yeah, this is the neighborhood. Yeah.
I got people here. All right, so I could. There are structures for this, right? When fucking 5-0 comes rolling up on the corner, you know where to run, you know what to do. Like we got plans for this stuff.
Yes.
And even though I have certainly never been one to follow a plan, I was sort of paying attention when whoever's in charge of me was like, "Listen, if the blue coats show up, do this." Yeah. So maybe I have some idea where to go. I'd like to use my local advantage over these pigs and get out of here.
You could do that, or you could stand up to them. But whatever. This is cool too.
I'm not quite at a point in my life now where I'm ready. Like if this was a different day, if this was another Cantor, I'd be busting a cap in these motherfuckers. But I don't have that stalwart heart yet.
It's a different dude.
Someday.
Dude.
But for now I'm getting the shit out of here.
Yeah, I think you realize when they call out, like you just gotta like turn the corner, rush down a little narrow street, and then there's some people that'll cover for you. They'll like, step in front and be like, I think you went that way, officer, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Word. You can see it. All you gotta do is like make a quick dart around the corner.
Yeah.
So home field advantage. I mean, this is the blue coats turf too, but
I don't know shit.
Yeah, they're not wise to this kind. If they were, it wouldn't be a very good.
These are for you, McNulty. How many dice I got?
I think 4.
I was gonna say 3 or 4 sounds fair. Let's roll that. Let's roll that dice.
Yeah.
Shabow!
Oh my god!
Coming straight from the underground.
Straight from the underground. Holy shit! This is going so well.
So well. Oh my god.
I'm the best.
So yeah, I think we just Cantor like looks that way down the alley, and then we cut to these confused blue coats looking down the alley, and this like young kid, the guy that Cantor was talking to earlier about running the corner, he's like, he went that way, sir. He's wearing a red coat. Like, and Cantor's coat isn't red, He's like, he went that, and the cops are like, thanks, And they completely get the wrong direction.
I saw a red sash do it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Sweet. I fade into the night.
So when we cut back to like back home doing the handoff, is it how do you guys see this? Is it Aldo and Ramira finishing this thing up? Cantor's like done his job.
I would imagine that we like before all this had taken place had agreed to like meet back somewhere.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay.
So, like, on the north side of the bridge. Actually, let's like at that park again. That's like a nice callback. So it's the snowy park we saw before, but it's the three of you like have gotten away from the cops, and you're under a tree there. It stopped snowing and it's clear again. Snow's piled up on the ground.
Okay, so I like take the satchel off of my shoulder and I just like set it down and kind of gently I like dump out all the contents. So we were looking for a jewelry box.
Yep.
And in it was specifically, there's like a couple odds and ends and like little things that like buttons and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But the most important thing was a necklace that was Rosie's when she was still alive, and she wore it all the time, every day. So I'm assuming that the necklace is in there. They haven't sold it, and the box, or
yeah, yeah. The jewelry box is in there. I think Ramira, like, you dump it out, and Cantor, you see like there's like 3 or 4 coin worth of cash in here. There's some other odds and ends, like pieces of jewelry that they stole. There's like a fine fighting dagger that's got a jewel in the hilt.
What, I must ask you, my dear John Harper, what is the gaudiest piece of jewelry among this selection?
There's like it's like a tiara, like a metal torque, but then it has this like metal veil hanging down that has pearls in the veil. It's ridiculous.
I would like to call dibs on that particular piece of jewelry.
Right.
all Ramira cares about is the box and the necklace. So do I see the necklace?
I think you tell me, Anne, this is the vibe I'm feeling right here. Like, you see the jewelry box, and before you open it, like, we see Ramira's face, and you reach out to it, and you get this sense that it's in there. Like, you just feel it, all of us. Like, it's strange. You get this weird vibe, like, you know what's in the box before you open it.
Okay.
And then when you open it, it's exactly the way you pictured it. Like, maybe in the TV show, like, we see a flash of like the contents in Ramira's mind, and then you
kind of in the past of like Rosie taking the necklace off at night and like putting it in the box or at the night, like during the night when she goes to sleep.
Yeah. And then you open it up, and it's all there. It's exactly the way you saw in your this like brief little flash of a vision.
So I'm like kind of solemnly, she picks up the box with the necklace in it, and it's open. Maybe it's even a music box, and it's playing like a little kind of like tune real slowly.
Yeah.
And I like pick up the box, and I kind of turn away from the rest of everything that I had dumped everything out on the ground with the bag. And I start kind of like walking back in the direction of Crow's Foot, and I'm just like, over my shoulder, I say, "Thanks for your help, Cantor. You can have the rest." And I just walk away.
And I push aside this like bridal veil that I'm wearing. I'm like, what? Where you fucking going? We gotta celebrate this shit. Like, we are rich as shit right now. Come on. And I like run up after you. I like take the tiara off and I like chuck it in the pile. But I give Aldo a look like, don't fucking take that. That shit's mine. Yeah. And I run up after you. I'm like, where are you going? What's the fuck? Didn't you see all that shit? I burned that house down. I shot 2 guys. We gotta celebrate. It's still early.
Yeah. I have to take this back to Christoph, and maybe we can meet up later, yeah?
Man, Christoph is gonna be there in the morning. We gotta celebrate now. We gotta let everybody know we run this shit. Come on, they're gonna forget about this by morning. Come on. And I like gesture back over my shoulder. Maybe we see like, the lights of the rest of the district behind me. I'm like, what's a little I'm winded. Shit. Listen. There's no point in doing all this running around, fucking burning shit down, shooting people, stabbing people. You see your fat motherfucker, he punched that dude. Damn. We gotta celebrate. Positive reinforcement. Come on. And I grab your wrist. I'm like, let's go. Come on.
So I like have my own backpack. I left the satchel over there with everything else. And so I'd like take my own backpack off, and I like put the jewelry box in it, and then I put it back, and I'm just like, all right, Cantor, you get your way.
Oh, yeah. All that action making my dick hard. Let's go. And I like
as they're talking before they come back to the pile of jewelry. I find like an ivory hairpin with like a nice like a sapphire built into it, and I look at it.
It's shaped like a butterfly.
So I see him pick that up, and he's looking at it, and I'm just like, "You're right, Aldo. That would look nice in Belle's hair."
No, how did you know? I was thinking that. That's weird.
Just had a feeling.
Okay. And I put it in my pocket next to my glasses. And I looked at Cantor. You don't mind if I take this, do you?
I look at it. I'm like, nah, motherfucker, you earned that shit. And I like give you a couple, like a 1-2 kind of the arm. I'm like, man, I seen you out there fucking busting face. You got a talent, man. You got a talent. You ever want to bust some skulls? You come talk to me. There's always skulls need busting. Big guy like you. I'm sorry I called you fat earlier. That was not fair of me. You are tough as shit. I seen that.
You
Damn.
see also just like this grin like across his face, just like, yeah, it was pretty tough, wasn't it?
I'm like, don't get me wrong. You're still a chubby motherfucker, but like you could do some with that. Like you got big hands, man. Damn. Come on, we're gonna celebrate. And I like kind of pick you up.
So I'm like
Right.
kind of like pushing everything back into the satchel, and I hand it to Cantor, and I'm just like, all right, Aldo, Cantor said he's going to show us a good time. Let's go.
Oh yeah, good time is my middle name.
Can we say no guns this time? No, I mean we have a good time without guns.
I'm like, listen, Aldo, my man, you do you. I'm gonna do Cantor. And if we need the guns, we're gonna need the guns. Turns out you ain't the only one with a talent. And I kind of like jostle my bandoliers. I'm like, but nah, tonight we going hard. We're gonna celebrate. Look at all this loot. And I like, am collecting the pile of stuff. And I'm like, this shit gonna get us messed the fuck up. And I kind of like give Ramira a push, like, come on, get stoked about this.
I'm like kind of like half-hearted, like sure, yeah.
All right. Yeah, I embrace the two of you as my battle companions, and I wanna show them a good time. I wanna take them out, fucking Char Hollow style. Get tore up.
Yeah.
This might be like my second friend I've ever had. And I am, at least for tonight, I am willing to do whatever you want to do because you're the first like male person that's anywhere near my age that has treated me nicely. Even though you called me a fat fuck and stuff, you did it in such a way where I kind of was okay with it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm down to do whatever. Like if you want to go drinking or if you want to go like starting a fight or whatever, I'm in. I'm just so happy right now.
Yeah, and as is Cantor's way, right? Like I immediately go like too far right away, like right off the bat. Like I take the money that we got and I like get us into shit that's like over Cantor's head. Like if we just went back to that pub we were at and we got drunk and maybe I got in a fight or whatever, picked up some girls, it'd be no big deal. But like I immediately go above my tier. I'm just like, no, fuck it. We're going to use this money to get us into a place I have never been allowed in before. We're going to bribe our way into some bad shit and we are going to get in trouble. And I don't reveal that to them. Of course, because I have to play it up like I do this shit every other day, man. Like this is fine. It's fine. This is fine. I'm about this. It's cool. But yeah, I get us in some trouble. I get us way in over our head, like immediately.
Okay,
Because it's
so
that's how I do.
And this might be a good place where Aldo figures out like the people that were being introduced to and that were kind of mingling or whatever, socializing with. They all dress really well. They're more well spoken. Is that what you're thinking, or are we talking?
Yeah. Well, so I mean, I think the thing is I get into that occult shit, right? Because that's where the real power's at. I don't understand it or know anything about it, but like, yeah, I take us somewhere where it's like some eyes wide shut, fucking masquerade orgy, like drug shit, and I do not belong there. But I've got money. We have this money we just made, and I throw it around liberally, and I overdo it. And the thing is, like, I want to, it's like I was saying to Ramira before, positive reinforcement. I want to be like, we're going to take Aldo somewhere where he can see some big ass motherfuckers beat on one another. And he can be like, yeah, dog, I'm going to be that guy when I grow up. Right. Like, I want to show you that this thing we did with the house burning and the people shooting and everything, this is the shit. This is the way that you get up in the world, because it reinforces Cantor's viewpoint, right? Like, Cantor is all about making himself feel okay about who he is. So I just like put that on you. I'm just like, yeah, I'm going to do that to you too.
Yeah, and it's like you're in Crow's Foot. This is outside your territory, but you have the right instincts and you kind of know something. So you confidently lead them to this place that you always go to, which you totally don't. Never been there.
No, I've never been there before. Jesus. No.
And it's this. So Crowsfoot is run by several different gangs, and one of them has like weird high-end drug places that are a little on the occult side. And it's this Eruvian gang called the Red Sashes, and they.
I love me an Eruvian girl. Damn.
Yeah. They're known for. Like it's the kind of place you describe where like richer people would come to Crowsfoot to go to these places because it is kind of Eyes Wide Shut ish.
Yeah.
So we see this like Cantor like almost by smell like that smells like Lotus to me. Let's go this way. Hey, I know a good place, you know. And you lead them down this alleyway, and it's got like hanging incense burners and silks that you have to go through, and you flash. The bouncers are like fuck off, but Cantor knows to flash the money up front. To get through, and they're like, sure, whatever, it's your funeral. And I think we go into this kind of montage where it is all these little moments of like this drug haze and the three of you just kind of getting lost in this celebration of weird drugs and money and rich people rubbing elbows. And once everyone gets high and on E a little bit, you know, like it's like things become a lot more friendly in the place, and it's dreamlike.
I imagine Aldo in this situation is like pulling a Samuel Tarly, right? Where you're just like, what's going on?
Yeah. And I become super fascinated with opulence and with culture and with class.
Yeah.
See like how these people are living and how it's so much fucking better than anything I've ever lived. And I think the way to do that is to make money, dress proper, get a knowledge of art and that kind of
I love that idea. So maybe you and I are in some like rich. Where is this happening? Is this at like a club or something like a private venue, or is this someone's like manor, or where are we at?
It's like a tobacconist's. That's like this like nice tobacco shop, and then you go down the stairs in the back, and it goes into this. It's like underground canal space that they've converted into. It's like a drug den, essentially. Yeah.
I've totally like tipped off like bribed the coat check girl to like let us into the back of the coat room, and we're just like going through people's clothes, not to steal stuff, but I'm like trying on like fancy coats and with Aldo being like, yeah, check this shit out. This is the shit right here. This is like a 846 Latour, and I'm like giving him like a lesson about what I know about dressing nice.
Yeah. And I grab a coat off of the rack that I'm like, oh, this looks great, and I try it on, and I totally like fat guy in a little coat it. Like I try it on, and I'm just like, how do I look? And I go, and I pull it off. And that's like, it's all these little things that are happening in such quick succession that are changing. Like the first time I knock somebody out, the first time I realize like maybe being fat is not the best course of action for me. Like I can work out and not, you know.
I think there's a moment where the two of us are like, in the back, and we're in this coat room or whatever, and I grab you. I'm like, man, check this out. I turn you around, and I are you wearing your glasses, or are they in your pocket?
They're in my pocket.
All right, so I like reach in your pocket and I take them. And if you're a person that wears glasses, you know that someone takes your glasses, you're like, let's just cut that shit out. So I take them out, and I'm actually like real careful. Like I hold them, I'm like, nah, dog, and I like put them in my vest pocket, and I reach into. I've got another thing I've taken out of someone else's coat. I take these like really nice like spectacles, and like put them on your face. And I look at you for a second. I'm just like, damn, yeah. Like give you this like very approving look, like yeah, that's it, you got it. And like you have some like rich person's glasses we've stolen.
Right.
Yeah.
But I gotta say this.
Oh, go ahead, Zeke.
So I take a second and I look in the mirror and I'm admiring these glasses, and as best I can, they look really good.
Yeah.
But there's two things about them that I can't. The reason why I can't keep them. One, they're not the right prescription.
I don't know how that shit works.
No, I know. And two, the glasses that you took from me were a gift from my sister.
Yeah.
So I look at them and I'm trying like look in my coat and stuff, And then I look and like, okay, you better find somebody else who can. My glasses fit me. My head is big, and so if you don't mind.
Yeah, and so you take them, I guess, because I have them in my coat pocket. You take them out of my pocket and put them back on, and I look at you all bashful. I'm like, man, look at you all sentimental and shit. Damn. I put my arm around you. I'm like, you soft ass motherfucker. Come on. And I like drag you back into the party.
Nice.
Yeah, like I don't push you on it. I'm just like,
no.
Look at you.
No. You grab me, and then I honestly I pick you up and put you over my shoulder, playing. And I spank your butt a little bit, like,
yeah. I'm
trying
about
to
it.
figure out how to associate with your kind of person.
Whatever goes. Like I'm stoked. I'm just like, yes, onward, mighty steed. Back to the party.
Perfect.
Carry
So
me back
in the other room, with the hanging silks and incense burners and masked nobles writhing in masses on couches, we see Ramira. And we see her approached by an unknown person in a mask and robes, carrying a long, slender pipe trailing this black vapor out of the end. And everyone's feeling it now. Like the fact that you guys are out of place, it doesn't matter. Everyone's high enough where it's just it's this orgy-ish vibe.
Yeah.
They sort of seductively approach you with the pipe and offer it to Ramira to smoke. What do you do?
They're wearing a mask, so I don't know who this is.
Yeah, a lot of the
person.
wear masks, so like if they don't see someone that they know, they don't want to be recognized when they're here doing their weird cult drugs.
Okay. So they're holding this pipe out to me or whatever, and I kind of look at them for a second. I don't know what's really going on, and I just watched those two guys go off to into the coat check and stuff, and
playing grab room. Yep.
Yeah. So I look at them and I'm just like, all right, but first you have to tell me how that works. And I point over in the corner and I see there's a group of people huddled around a table, and there's a big stone bowl in the middle, and there's one person who's they've got a handful of rocks, stones, and they're kind of shuffling them in their hand. And then they throw them down in the bowl, and you can see that they're actually rune stones. And he's kind of telling people their fortune in that kind of way, So I take the pipe from this person, and I start smoking it on my way over to go observe whatever this thing is that I don't really understand, but it looks interesting.
Yeah, when you take it and take the drag off the pipe, the mask leans in and they whisper, you will see. Yes. And yes, you're taking the drug. Yeah. That's the first step. You will see. And they very lightly take your hand and lead you almost like you're in a dream, semi-float walking over to the table. And now as you're getting closer, you're seeing things. The bowl isn't just a bowl. It's like a window that's looking onto the city. And you're seeing different parts, different places, different people. And instead of the runes just clanking into the stone bowl, you see messages and events swirling in this maelstrom at the bottom of the bowl.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stay here forever.
Yeah.
That's a good call. That's a fine choice. Good stuff.
Yeah, maybe that's the night. If we leave it there, everyone enjoys the party in their own way, and we sort of fade away from the scene there. Unless there's stuff you guys really want to do in this thing, it's more like just a celebration thing, I think, right?
No, I just I think we Cantor shows me how to actually let loose,
Yeah.
Actually how to party, and that is so I overdo it.
I
I don't do any drugs or anything, but I definitely drink way too much.
Yeah, Cantor gets tanked, and like irresponsibly, like I think this is a great scene because like I dragged Rhaenyra here and I immediately fucking ditch her, right? Like I put her in the hands of the most dangerous people in the room, and then I don't check up on her ever again, right?
Yep.
Like I'm like, cool, yeah, you're my friend, let's go to this party. Cool, yeah, these are my drug dealer friends. Check them out. I'm gonna go over here, and Aldo and I are gonna fuck around, but I lose track of you, so I just don't. I'm not like, oh, maybe you're in danger, maybe you're in over your head. I don't think about that. I'm just like, meh, whatever. Just you're grown up. You do your own thing. And then I try to pick fights so that Aldo will win them for me. So I talk shit about people and I like push people. I'm like, what? Yeah, it was him. And then I make Aldo fight them, and then I laugh and throw money and get drunk. And I'm a terrible person to both of you, but maybe you notice or don't notice. I don't know. That's your call. But I'm very much like,
no, I just like the attention. I'm good with it.
Oh,
it's
yeah. And I'm reinforcing the worst of that.
Friend.
Yeah. I'm trying to make you misbehave. I'm just like, look at chubby librarian over here. He's gonna fuck you up, and then I get you in fights with people, and yeah, it's a bad scene. But it is very reinforcing.
I don't notice anything you guys are doing because I'm already like, one, I'm high for the first time, and then two, I'm like staring into this bowl like Harry stares into the Pensieve in Harry Potter. You know, like it's this swirling like vision that I'm experiencing. So I'm not really paying attention to what you guys are doing at all.
Yeah. Can I just say that people watching this at home, if you know a Cantor Hague, stop being friends with them. Just stop. They're not good people. They will ruin your life. Do not be friends with them. Just, put that out there.
That's very good advice. Yeah. And can you make a roll? I think you might be having a vision here.
Okay.
Let's make a fortune / attune roll for Rune / Rhaenyra. And see how this vision quest thing hits you. your drug experience. Has Rhaenyra done drugs before? Is this the first time?
This is the first time. She's been like a petty criminal before, but this is the first time delving into drugs.
Okay. Like 3 dice maybe? I think that seems about right.
Okay. 5, 6, 5.
Nice.
Ooh, yeah.
Mini crit.
You get something crystal clear with your 6. So you see Kristav's place, like as if you're outside your body, and you get this sense like it's timeless in a way. Like it's not happening right now necessarily. It might be. You don't have a sense. Like you're seeing this vision that it may be happening out of order. It might not be real. You're not totally sure, but it's very clear. It's like you're there, and you drift down through the ceiling into the room, into the main tavern room, and Kristav is there at a table with a noble, this very fine hawk-featured man, sort of ageless looking, hard to pinpoint, maybe 30, maybe 50, swept back black hair, piercing black eyes, no beard, tall, wearing fine noble garb, but very understated, mostly black and gray. Kind of hunched because he's so tall, hunched over the table. Very pale, like white skin. And Kristav is there in his chair, scowling at this noble, and the crate which has this like big dream significance. The crate that you broke, the wooden crate, it's on the bar, and it's like leaking and dripping on the floor in this rhythmic drip. And every time it drips, a little fire starts, and then dies, and then another drip hits, and it flames again. And the noble is saying, I expect you to uphold the bargain and take better care of my merchandise. And Kristav is saying, and their voices kind of echo in the vision. He says, you won't need to worry about that anymore, you bastard, because our bargain is over. I don't work for you anymore. And the liquid drips out of the thing faster, and the flames get brighter and brighter. And the noble doesn't seem to really get out of his chair, but he's looming over Kristoff suddenly, standing over him without really crossing the room. And he leans down and he says, no one betrays me. And the fire, like the room is like starting to become on fire now. And it's if the two of them can't see it, only you can see it. Do you do anything or say anything?
Well, I mean, it's just a vision, right? I can't.
It's a vision. I mean, you're standing there. You're like right there. It's as if they should be able to see you, but they're not. They're not reacting.
Right. Well, so I think in like the real world, I'm still like sitting at this bowl or whatever. Yeah. But I see like what's happening, and I stand up, and I stand up so fast and so violently that the bowl with the runes just like gets knocked over, and everyone is like kind of surprised because I just stood up suddenly.
Yeah.
And I'm like trying to talk to Kristoff and like trying to tell him like there's a fire behind you, you know, like what, you know, like get out of there.
John, how do the other people who are like sitting around partaking, how do they respond when Ramira like stands up suddenly? Are they like comforting her, like they're their girl, or are they like startled by it?
They were all also hunched over looking in the bowl, and when it falls to the floor, they fall down and like clutch their heads and
right, the wailing and gnashing of teeth.
Yeah, and one of them is like bleeding out of their eyes.
Oh God!
And like the whole spell just goes.
Ooh, a party foul.
Yeah, yeah.
You knocked over the bong.
Ramira's still in the vision, so everyone else is like disconnected, right?
Yeah, basically, you like what they were maybe seeing their own visions potentially, and you like broke the connection suddenly, and you feel this wetness on your face where your nose is bleeding.
Yeah. So I'm like trying to talk to Kristoff, but realizing that he can't hear me, I'm like screaming.
Yeah.
But like he can't. No matter what I do, he like doesn't hear me, and I'm like in the vision. I'm just like trying to like react, like get them to react to me.
Yeah.
But
yeah, he can't see, and the fires grow and grow and grow, and his chair catches on fire, and the table, everything is burning except the nobleman, who stands there, and he looks up suddenly, like in the vision, he looks you right in the eye.
Yeah.
As if he can see you standing there. A little slight smile kind of creeps into the corner of his mouth, and the vision fades away, and you stumble backwards onto the floor.
Mm-hmm. So I'm like kind of on the ground and like imagine exhausted. Like you said, my nose started bleeding, and this is like something I'm not used to. So I'm trying to like get myself up off the ground, because like I'm imagining that this situation is happening as I saw it, you know, because I don't know what's going on. And so I'm like desperate to get out of here and go back to Kristoff's, but I'm also high and I don't really know what just happened.
Yeah, so maybe we see you stumble out, like Cantor said, like he kind of just ditched you. So you go stumbling through the streets, and the camera pulls back and fades away to the next day. And it's Rune in the bar, slumped down on one of the tables. The same scene we saw before, not burned. Your broken crate isn't on the bar. It's back in the storeroom where it should be. And Kristoff is there, sort of, he strokes your hair and tries to like gently wake you up. And it's like, Ramira, are you okay? And you're like, got like drool on the table and passed out with the sack, like your backpack on the table.
Yeah. So am I now like, I think that was like a dream that I had.
It sure seemed like a dream.
Yeah.
I mean, you did roll a 6, so you can, if you want to draw conclusions about it that make it seem more dire, you can. But it really did seem like some sort of dream or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I wouldn't have known who that was. I just knew that there was some person talking to him.
Yeah, you've never seen.
Yeah. Okay. I look at Kristoff and I'm just like, I had the strangest dream that you we're talking to a man, and he was tall and pale, and he had black hair. Do you know anyone like that?
When you say I had a dream, he smiles like you're gonna tell him something sweet. And then as you keep talking, his keeps the smile on his face and his eyes go dead. And he goes, no, I don't know. That's strange. He's totally lying to you. You can tell.
Yeah.
I don't know any vampires. Come on. Come on now.
Well, he said
That's crazy.
he was angry with you, and he said no one betrays me. And then the tavern was on fire, and you were here, and Myth was here, and I don't know where I was.
And you were there, and you were
Scared,
there.
bro. You're gonna be.
He wheels around so his back's to you, and he's like, "Oh, you probably need something to eat. Here, let me make you something. What a strange dream. I have strange dreams sometimes too." He just tries to blow it off. He's not doing a good job. You can totally see through. He's shaken, but he goes back to the kitchen and starts like cooking eggs and stuff.
Well, I kind of like shake it off as like I'll figure that out later. And then I pull the jewelry box like out of my bag, and I walk over to him, and I'm just like, "Well, I did find this," and I hand the jewelry box to him.
Yeah. He's already like a little shaky. And when you put it down, the lid snaps open and the song starts playing.
Mm-hmm.
And he like drops the spoon that he's using to stir the eggs and stuff, and clutches it and puts his head down, and he's like quietly crying to himself. You can tell he's just like totally as stressed as he can be, and this is just it. He just can't deal anymore. And he's sobbing, and he just says, thank you, Rivera. Thank you.
So I think on that we would just kind of fade out of that with like me standing next to him with like my hand on his shoulder.
Yeah.
I don't know if we wanted to do Zeke, if you wanted to go back to give the thing to Belle.
Yeah, I was gonna like.
You want to do that as the end?
To the end of the night.
Yeah.
I want to just like briefly like play out, because I separate from Cantor by the end, and I kind of like stumble ass home.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to like play something out, Cantor, or you had something.
Yeah,
in mind.
I've got a Cantor epilogue. Like, if you want to, like, Zeke, do you want to jump back to the present and bookend the thing, or do you want to? Because I want to make sure I just get.
This is me after the party.
Maybe we should do Cantor, and then Zeke, you can wrap up the episode. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think after Aldo and Cantor spend the night, as you so aptly put it, playing grab ass, because that's totally what it is. I think after that, the next day, once Cantor gets his shit together, he remembers the violence of the night before, the house burning and the guns, and kind of thinks like, yeah, right, like we did the job, we got this shit settled, but like, is it really settled? Because those Brogan boys are going to come back on us. Nah, I think we got to go finish this job. So the next day or few days is Cantor getting the rest of his friends together under whatever his supervisor's nose is, right? Like, because he wouldn't go up the chain. He would just be like, look, fucking these Brogan boys have been talking shit, and I started a thing, and we're going to go and fucking finish it. And so it's like a montage of him like kicking down flophouse doors, dragging like mostly naked dudes away from the people they're sleeping with, and just fucking shooting them in the street, and just like executing the Brogan boys, just because we haven't gone far enough. We got to finish this. And by the end of maybe a day or so, everybody knows that Cantor and his little like crew that he had like finished them, killed them all. And not for any reason either, just because like they crossed him. And I think the last thing we see of Cantor is like back on that corner, same as before. Maybe there's some like blood stains on his like fancy stolen coat, and he just looks like he's the happiest he's ever been. Right? Everybody's like bowing to him. There's fear when people approach him to buy drugs, and he's just like whistling happily to himself, knowing that he's fucking king of this corner, and that the Brogan boys, they are no more because they dared to cross Cantor Hague. And I think that's the last thing we see. Like, I'm just in such a good mood. I'm just like, yes.
They didn't actually do.
No, which they didn't actually do. Exactly. Yeah, like he just decided to fuck them up and then went all the way, went way too far and just murdered them all. And like, damn the consequences, right? Like if you wipe the gang out completely, they'll never come back on you. And and I think actually maybe the last thing that we see is Cantor actually gets pulled in for some of these crimes. And we see him, he's like in handcuffs, he's in shackles, and he's at the sentencing, he's in a court, and there's a judge and there's everybody like, and it's one of those like sad empty courts, like nobody showed up to watch this. Like it's just like the detective and him and whatever his state sponsored lawyer is. But he's not paying any attention to his sentencing. He's like being sentenced, and he's up at the bar and he's flirting with this girl who's like just a young, like a junior clerk of the city, and he's like just like trying to get her name, and it's Petra. And she's just entered the court, and he's just like, "Yo, girl, what are you doing in 6 to 10 months?" And I think that maybe that's the last thing that we see is like he's gonna do a bid for what he did, but he doesn't give a fuck. He's just like, cool, I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna get hard, I'm gonna come back out twice as tough. And he's in a great mood. This is the beginning of some beautiful times for Cantor Hague. Nice. I am going to jail, and it's gonna be great.
Yeah, you got to do it if you're gonna be real. Like you gotta.
Yeah, exactly. You can't be a grown up gangster if you haven't at least spent some time in prison. Like,
yep.
Yeah, totally.
Right.
Nice. All right, Zeke, you get the last epilogue for the show.
Okay. So we're out. We just got done living it up. We're like Cantor has disappeared. And I'm drunk as shit, and I'm ready to go home. So I fucking like get out, start stumbling, like figuring out where I am. It takes me a little bit, but I figure out where I am, and then I make my way home to this little tiny, like, it's just like hovels upon like on top of each other. It's like can't really understand how they're like staying upright. I walk or get into the place where I stay with Belle, and it's not quite dawn yet, so it's still dark outside. And I come up to her room, and I kind of like the door is not closed. I just kind of knock on the door jamb, like, tum, tum, tum. Hey, Belle?
Is that you, Ollie?
Yeah, it's me.
Come on in.
And I kind of like stumble a little bit and then fall to my knees. I'm like, sorry. And I just crawl on all fours to the bedside.
Are you drunk?
Yeah. I guess I am.
Ollie.
Oh, don't talk like that.
Well, at least you're safe.
I got something for you.
You did? At the bar?
Well, maybe it's better if you don't know where I got it. Kind of like my glasses that I already know where you got them from.
Oh, I was going to chastise you until you threw that in my face. So that's fair. No questions from me.
And I pull out the hairpin with like the butterfly on it. I give it to her. There you go.
I take it from him, and I'm just like, my eyes are really wide, and I'm like, oh, it's beautiful, Ollie. I love it. Thank you so much. And I like put it in my hair. How's it look?
It looks perfect, Runt.
I love it very much. Thank you, Ollie.
All right. Well, I think I might just fall asleep right here on the floor, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Like right by her bed, and I just kind of like flump down, like by her bed.
Nice.
And we can still talk if you want, or you want to resolve it in the morning.
Well, I was just thinking, like, he kind of passes out, like, on the floor. And
okay.
because he's like, yeah, because he's gone to sleep, I like turn I had like one of those lanterns, and I kind of turn it down a little bit so it's a little darker. And she was sitting at a desk, and so I turned back to the desk, and I'm writing in my diary. And I pick up where I left off, where I said that it was snowing, and I was describing how I went to the park, and I'm writing, and I say, I write down, Aldo just gave me the most beautiful present. It's a hairpiece, and it's got a butterfly on it, and I love it so much. Today was a really nice day, and I hope it snows again tomorrow. And that's it. And I close it, and I turn off the light.
God bless us, everyone.
And
Nice.
then I would imagine like it shows the present
Yes. Yep.
and Aldo's like he reads that last little passage and he closes the diary, and he looks out and it's about the same time. It's like almost dawn, and he's been doing this for hours on end, and he can't keep his eyes open anymore. And I think, and this might be a little sappy and a little too much.
Do
But
it.
I think he walks over to his bed and looks at it and then thinks better of it and curls up on the floor by the bed.
Perfect.
Love it. Beautiful. So
That's
good.
when like the Iggy Pop, like I want to be your dog, like comes in hard for the credits.
Yeah, the
Awesome.
the tail end shot. We had our nice crane shot at the beginning, coming into the city, and as we leave, the very first snowflakes start to fall from the clouds over the city in the present day, and we go out to our credits. Credits roll, music plays.
Fuck yeah.
Awesome, everybody.
That was fucking fun, dude. That was
Oh, that was great.
So good. Killing it. That was
all right. Now experience.
You get all of it. You all get all
Just
the
nice.
all of it, just
so
forever.
Sweet.
just all
That's
of
where
it.
my 4 attuned dots came from.
That's right.
Today.
Just got them all right there.
You start awarding experience points like whose line is it anyway? All right, $1 million for you, and we're moving on.
Yeah, I mean, if the rest of the moves are just made up, we might as well. So
Yeah, it's just all. Everyone gets 1,000. Whatever. Whew! Wow, that was awesome. We should do shout outs, I guess, and
so.
Yeah.
and take it out. Adam, as our guest star, do you wanna start us
I would
off?
love to. Yes, absolutely. Thanks for having me on the show, everybody. John surprise attacked me with this yesterday. I was like, oh my god, I
Yeah.
have an idea, and I was so excited. I was like, yes, any opportunity to play Cantor Hague, and I know that people have been excited about the idea of crossovers. This is a thing that I love about Blades in the Dark and some of its predecessors. Apocalypse World does a little bit of this, where you end up with a universe where characters that share names, you start to just assume they're all one person. So it was super cool to be able to take a step into the world of roleplay Blades. If you want to check out more of me being a completely obnoxious piece of shit, you can do so tomorrow night. If you're watching this live, we're going to do an episode of Blood Letters, which is Cantor's gang. There's also some other people in it, but they're not important. It's Cantor's gang, and they're super cool. You can check that out at twitch.tv/AdamKoble. We're going to stream it on my channel, and you can follow me on Twitter at Skinny Ghost. And then, of course, if you want to see more of me doing my thing, I am right here GMing Nebula Jazz and Court of Swords. So please come and see that action. Thanks again, everybody, for having me and giving me the opportunity to do the big reveal. That felt really fun. Everybody liked it. I feel real good. Thank you.
Thank you for doing it, Adam. It was last minute, like you said, and I'm so glad you could jump in and
Yeah,
give it a surprise to everybody. And also, I don't think any of us knew how this was going to turn out, and it was pretty great to see that it wasn't just a casual situation. Like there was
if we're gonna do
happened.
If we're gonna do a Patreon video about it, I'll talk about some of my like anxiety about getting onto the show because Cantor's a mess.
Definitely talk about that. Yes.
We'll save that for the after bits.
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure. Anne, you want to?
Sure. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in, guys. My name is AnneMunition. I'm a variety caster. Been playing a lot of I played Mass Effect 1, now we're on Mass Effect 2. And I play a lot of Siege and Overwatch, of course. I love Blades, and so thanks to Zeke and John. And Adam, thank you so much for agreeing, as you said, last minute to be on the show. I thought that was a really cool. Again, if we do a Patreon video, the number of things we ended up tying in together that I wasn't expecting, that worked out so well. So I hope you guys had fun. I'm really glad that we got to put on a show, even with half of the cast plus a crossover. So, so thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I had a ton of fun today. So, thanks.
Yeah. Zeke, shout us out.
Yo, Zeke the Third here. Hello. How's everybody doing? You can follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube, all at Ezekiel_III. Not sure what I'm doing after this because I was going to do For Honor and I got my time mixed up. I thought I was going to have time to do that, but I guess I'm not going to. So if I do anything, it will be announced on Twitter. So if you want to follow me there and watch me later, maybe that's where I'll say what I'm doing and when it's going on. Huge thank you to Adam Coble, the Skinny Ghost, for being here today. I found out about it yesterday as well, and I was like, I got like a chubby. Anytime I can do anything with Adam Coble, it gets me a chubby because he is an inspiration, and also he makes you a better role player when he role plays with you, and it's amazing. Also, a huge shout out to AnneMunition and John Harper for doing this. itmeJP behind the scenes, and that. I will not be in if they're having a Blades episode next week. I will not be in that particular episode because I will be in Mexico for a buddy's wedding. They might. I'm not sure what we've decided, if we've decided yet, but
You mean you'll have disappeared in your obsessed state? Dun dun dun.
I know it fits right in. We everything we do just fits right in. But that's all I got. Thank you.
Nice. Yeah. Wow. I've got goosebumps. I am John Harper. I'm the GM for the show here. I'm a game designer. If you want to check out my free games, you can go to 17design.com. I really need to shout out my good friend Ryan Dunleavy, master cartographer, map maker extraordinaire, who made all the maps that we used today in the game. Some people have been asking about that super detailed map of the city that I use sometimes, and he also did the maps of the buildings and the floor plans and stuff that we used. He has a Patreon. If you want to go, if you're into fantasy maps, it's patreon.com/Ryan Dunleavy. I'll put it in chat also. He's making kind of every building in Duskwall pretty much, with rooftop views and floor plans and everything and notes for heists and stuff. It's an incredible project. So definitely go check it out. It's insane. He's doing this amazing work. And you that's the place where you can get a full, like, huge high-res version of the city map if you want one of those. That's the place to get it. It's really cool. And you will see even more of those coming up in future shows for Blades. There'll be a lot more Ryan maps happening.
I meant to say Blades is not having a show this Tuesday.
Correct. Valentine's Day.
The 21st, there is a scheduled Blade show that I cannot be a part of.
Correct. We will not be playing on Tuesday.
That's why we did Sunday, was because we can't do Tuesday.
Right. Yep. Exactly. But we'll be back on the 21st.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, we're going to do our post show. If you are part of the Roleplay Patreon, you can check out our post show chat, which will be very interesting today, I'm sure. And otherwise, we will catch you all in the next episode of Blades. Thanks for hanging out and watching. And thanks for JP for running the show. We will see you next time.